Dear children of God, beloved seekers of truth and wonder, imagine a world trembling under the shadow of creatures so vast, so mighty, that their very existence holds the cosmos in balance. In the sacred pages of Scripture and the ancient whispers of Hebrew legend, we encounter Leviathan, Behemoth, and Existl, beings of unimaginable power, woven into the tapestry of creation by the hand of the Almighty. Today, I invite you, with a heart open to awe and reverence, to journey with me into the depths of these mysteries. Who are these colossal creatures? What do they reveal about the divine order, the chaos of the world, and the hope that awaits us in the fullness of time? Let us walk together as pilgrims of faith to uncover their story, a story that speaks to the heart of humanity and the destiny of creation. In the beginning, when God spoke the world into being, He crafted not only the heavens and the earth but also beings of such grandeur that they defy our understanding. Leviathan, Behemoth, and Existl are not mere monsters of myth. They are divine signs, reflections of God's infinite power and His sovereignty over all that is wild and untamed. In the book of Job, the Psalms, and the ancient traditions of our faith, these creatures stand as guardians of the elements, sea, land, and sky, each a testament to the Creator's might. Yet, their story is not one of fear alone but of purpose, for they are woven into the divine plan, destined to play a role in the final days when the world is renewed. As we explore their tale, let us ponder, what do these creatures teach us about our place in God's creation, and how do they call us to trust in His eternal promise? Let us begin with Leviathan, the sovereign of the seas, a creature whose name echoes through the ages as a symbol of chaos tamed by divine will. In the book of Job, chapter 41, we hear of a being so fearsome that no one is fierce enough to rouse it. Its scales gleam like shields, its eyes burn like the dawn, and its breath kindles coals into flame. Leviathan is no ordinary serpent. It is the embodiment of the ocean's untamed fury, a force so vast that even the mightiest ships tremble before it. In the Psalms, we read that God created Leviathan to sport in the seas. Psalm 104 verse 26, a reminder that even the most chaotic forces of nature are under His command. In Hebrew tradition, Leviathan represents the primal waters of creation, the chaos from which God brought order. Yet, this creature is not merely a symbol of destruction. In the end times, Scripture hints that Leviathan will rise, its power unleashed, only to be subdued by God's justice, its flesh offered as sustenance for the righteous in a banquet of eternal peace. What does Leviathan teach us, my dear friends? It reminds us that no force, however wild or overwhelming, is beyond God's dominion. In our own lives, when storms rage and uncertainties threaten to engulf us, Leviathan calls us to trust in the one who calms the seas and holds all things in His hands. Let us now turn our gaze to the earth, where Behemoth, the titan of the land, strides with unmatched strength. In the book of Job, chapter 40, God speaks of Behemoth, saying, "Look at Behemoth, which I made along with you. It eats grass like an ox. Its bones are tubes of bronze, its limbs like rods of iron." This is no ordinary creature, but a colossus, a living mountain whose very presence commands the plains and forests. Behemoth is the embodiment of the earth's raw power, its unyielding stability, and its enduring strength. In Hebrew tradition, Behemoth is the guardian of the land, a creature so mighty that no human hand can subdue it, yet it bows to the will of its creator. As we contemplate Behemoth, we are invited to see the beauty of God's creation in its strength and resilience. In the final days, it is said that Behemoth will awaken, its footsteps shaking the earth as it confronts the forces of chaos. Yet, like Leviathan, its power is not eternal, for it too will kneel before God's justice. Behemoth teaches us, dear friends, to stand firm in faith, to find strength in the Creator who shaped both the mountains and our hearts, and to trust that even the mightiest forces of this world are held in His loving hands. High above the seas and the earth soars Ziz, the majestic lord of the skies, a creature whose wings stretch so wide they can eclipse the sun itself. Though less known in scripture, Ziz appears in the rich tapestry of Hebrew legend as a colossal bird, a guardian of the heavens whose flight commands the winds and whose gaze pierces the clouds. In some traditions, Ziz is a protector, a sentinel who holds the balance between the chaos of Leviathan and the might of Behemoth. Its feathers shimmer like the dawn, and its cry echoes like a call to hope. The psalmist sings of the birds of the air finding refuge in God's creation, Psalm 104 verse 12, and Ziz, in its grandeur, embodies this divine care extended to the heavens. In the end times, Ziz is said to rise, its wings a shield against the destruction wrought by its fellow titans. What does Ziz reveal to us? It speaks of freedom, of the boundless expanse of God's love that lifts us above the struggles of this world. In moments of doubt or fear, Ziz calls us to lift our eyes to the heavens, to seek the one who watches over us with a tenderness that spans the skies. As we hold these three creatures, Leviathan, Behemoth, and Ziz, in our hearts, we begin to see their story not as one of terror, but as a divine symphony, a testament to the Creator's power and wisdom. Each rules its domain, sea, land, and sky, yet each is bound to God's eternal purpose. In the ancient texts, we find whispers of a great battle, a cosmic struggle foretold for the end of days, where these titans will clash in a spectacle that shakes the foundations of the world. Leviathan's waves will surge against Behemoth's unyielding strength, while Ziz soars above, its wings a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Yet, this is not a tale of destruction, but of redemption. For the scriptures and traditions tell us that God Himself will intervene, taming these mighty beings and bringing harmony to creation. This vision of the end times reminds us that even in the fiercest storms, God's hand is at work, guiding all things toward His promise of renewal. As we reflect on this, let us ask, how can we, in our own lives, trust in God's power to bring order to our chaos, to transform our struggles into moments of grace? In the ancient traditions of our faith, we find a vision of the end times that stirs both awe and hope, a moment when Leviathan, Behemoth, and Ziz, these mighty creatures of sea, land, and sky, will meet in a battle that shakes the very foundations of creation. Picture the scene. Leviathan rises from the depths, its coils churning the oceans into a tempest. Behemoth stamps its mighty feet, the earth trembling beneath its weight, and Ziz, with wings that span the heavens, soars above, its cry piercing the chaos. This is no mere clash of beasts, but a cosmic struggle, a reflection of the forces of chaos and order that have shaped the world since its beginning. Yet, in this moment of upheaval, the Hebrew legends tell us that Ziz, the guardian of the skies, may hold the key. With its vast wings, it is said to shield the world from total destruction, a symbol of God's mercy that restrains even the mightiest of tempests. This battle, dear friends, is not the end, but a prelude to God's final act of redemption. It invites us to reflect. When the storms of life threaten to overwhelm us, do we seek the shelter of God's grace, trusting that His mercy will prevail? As the battle reaches its climax, the scriptures and traditions offer a vision of profound hope, the great banquet of the righteous. In this sacred moment, Leviathan, Behemoth, and Ziz, once symbols of chaos and power, are subdued by God's hand. Their mighty forms are transformed, their flesh prepared as a feast for the faithful, a celebration of God's ultimate victory over the forces of disorder. This banquet, foretold in Hebrew lore, is more than a meal. It is a symbol of the new creation, a world restored where justice reigns and peace abounds. The book of Isaiah speaks of a time when the Lord will wipe away the tears from all faces, Isaiah 25 verse 8, and in this banquet we see the promise fulfilled. The creatures that once inspired fear now serve as nourishment for God's people, a reminder that even the most formidable challenges can be transformed into sources of blessing. As we ponder this, let us ask ourselves, how can we, in our daily lives, embrace God's promise of renewal, turning our trials into opportunities for growth and grace? My beloved brothers and sisters, the story of Leviathan, Behemoth, and Ziz is not merely a tale of ancient creatures, but a mirror held before our souls. These titans of sea, land, and sky remind us of the vastness of God's creation, the depth of His power, and the tenderness of His love. They teach us that no force, however great, is beyond his command, and no chaos, however daunting, is beyond his ability to redeem. In their story, we see our own journey, our struggles, our hopes, and our trust in the one who holds all things in his hands. As we face the uncertainties of our world, let us take heart in the promise of the banquet where fear gives way to joy and chaos yields to peace. May we walk forward in faith, carrying the light of this truth, that God is with us, guiding us through every storm, leading us to a future where his love reigns eternal. Let us go forth, then, as bearers of hope, sharing this message with all who seek the divine. May God bless you, and may his peace be with you always.